You are the gardeners of the lives of tomorrow. You're the gardeners. And they're the seeds. So every little seed that's planted, it produces later than we plant, and it produces more than we plant. So everything we do for our children is like, oh, my goodness, it's kind of like this. Whatever we do for our kids, we might do this much work when they're little, but it'll reap this much reward. And if you wait until they're teenagers, say, and you do this much work, it only produces this much reward. Why? It's too late. You get more bang for your buck when they're little. So the effort you make now is going to reap much bigger rewards than if you wait till they're already grown up. I remember seeing some statistics about the money it costs to educate kids versus the money it costs to put people in prison. Okay, so they said that over a 4-year period, the money it costs to put someone in prison is like huge. It's more money than it would take to put somebody from kindergarten all the way through college. It's more money. It costs more to put somebody in prison for 4 years than it does to pay for their entire life of education till they're graduated from college. Those kids that ended up in prison, if only somebody had started them off right and given them the kind of education that would give them a fighting chance and keep them out of prison, right? Now, we can't change the past, but we can go forward because there's a new crop of kids coming up all the time. My heart goes out to all of them, and I think, wow, what can we do to reach them before they get too old to help, before they're teenagers, before they're grown up and already maybe gone the wrong way. So, well, you know what, you guys, the biggest thing that I want to ask, and even if you watch the replay, I still want you to answer this question in your comments, and that is, what do you feel is the number one challenge you face, and what was the thing you needed help with the most? Now, with me, I might have said laundry. We had so many socks. Well, with 7 kids, we had what we called the Bermuda sock triangle on the coffee table in the living room. And oh my gosh, I tried attacking that Bermuda sock triangle every day, and somehow I never got to the bottom of it. So I made a decision one day, and I said, kids, let's have a game. We're going to get rid of all these socks, and we're going to match them. And whoever matches the most socks is going to win a prize, right? And so I forget what the prize was, but what we did was we left the pile in the middle, and everybody grabbed one sock out of it. Then we took a whole line of socks and put them in front of the pile, and the kids would look at their sock, and they'd look at the sock neatly laid out in front of the pile, and they'd see if it was matched. And if it wasn't, the next kid would get to look. When they'd finally find a match, and they'd put it in their pile, and when everybody had matched as many as they could match, we saw who matched the most, and they would win. But there was always a pile left that nobody could match, couldn't match with themselves or anything. And so we decided that we would make a whole bunch of bean bags out of those socks. We chopped them up and sewed them into bean bags. And that was a great little project. And we learned how to sew. And then after that, I said, okay, kids, from now on, everybody gets white socks. White socks. And they all have to match, and it wouldn't matter. Yes, every mom invents different ideas to help get through their own sock pile. Anyway, so the Bermuda sock triangle, that's what we used to call it. So if you can think of some other problems, I mean, whether it's a practical problem like that, like what do we do with all the laundry? Or whether it's how do I get dinner ready on the table before the kids go crazy at 5 o'clock? You know, that was the witching hour for me, was 5 o'clock. If I didn't have dinner ready by 5 o'clock, everybody would go crazy. And so I started to notice this pattern. 5 o'clock was the worst. So when 4 o'clock came, I'd say, oh, I better get ready. And I'd start to prepare and think, what are we going to have for dinner? I got to get something to give these kids. So then I'd start the ball rolling. So at least by the time they were starving, mad, hungry, I could say, here, eat this, you know. So we would be okay. Whew, that was a big one. But anyway, so if you could think of some other problems that you remember were the worst, like, finding the shoes early in the morning when you're trying to get ready for school. If the kids haven't put their shoes in the right place, that's a big one too. Well, anyway, we have some more things to go over, but I want to find out what your problems are, the most challenging problems that you can bring to the table. That's what I would like you to do. So if you could do that, that would make me very happy, and then we can go on from there and work some other problems out. Yes, that's what us mothers do. We are problem solvers.
Love is all you need. True love, can you see? Love is all you need.